Have you heard about, the Yorke Peninsula?
Yes.
Have you heard about anything that's happened up there?
I've heard. I saw something a week or two ago.
Okay. Do you know what you saw? Do you know what
I heard about closures, basically.
Closures.
And I haven't deep dived, but obviously you have because there's quite a run here.
I have. So I'll just read this out so I don't get anything wrong here.
Okay,
but
word for word.
4-wheel drives, trail bikes, and this is
Say it.
hovercrafts.
I'm going to stop you.
Yeah, go.
What?
Who's bringing a
There's
hovercraft?
no such thing yet.
What do you mean?
I don't think there's hovercrafts around.
What,
So
at the
is
Yorke
this
Peninsula?
either a piss take article or I'm way behind the 8 ball and there's hovercrafts.
You're way
floating
behind
around.
the 8 ball, mate. Hovercrafts are around.
Show me a
exist.
hovercraft then.
Oh, no, okay. You know what a hovercraft is, right?
Are they the? No, I don't actually.
Do you-
I don't even want to guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Like over
Yeah, over water and land.
over like swampy sort of
like a
wetland
swamp.
stuff.
Like a lot big in Florida.
Yeah. That's
That
okay,
kind of
sorry.
kind of hovercraft.
Mate, I'm picturing, and if we're hovering, there's not an issue.
Yeah. There's
But
not an
those,
issue.
Those over like wetlands.
Well,
like
no,
wet-
because the hovercrafts, if you go over bushes and that kind of stuff, you can
Yeah, okay.
damage the environment.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Anyway, so 4-wheel drives, trail bikes, and hovercrafts facing a ban from the Yorke Peninsula due to environmental and indigenous concerns.
Yep.
No specific areas have been named yet, at least in the article that I found, and just having a Google. So Tony Fox, who's the GM of Northern and Yorke Landscape Board, who is basically they're the guys putting this proposal forward.
Yep.
He said there's no truth in reports that we want to remove 4x4s from the beaches.
Yep.
Basically, they don't want to see the fragile coastal dune system like harmed beyond repair. They're trying to keep it environmentally friendly and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
They're trying to keep it sustainable for both the environment and recreational use. 4-wheel drives,
Yep.
hovercrafts,
Fair
which
enough.
you know what they are now. Anyway, so the board's been working with local councils and 4x4 clubs to put together like a smart, sensible approach to it. They're not closing all the tracks. They're closing tracks that they don't need or
Okay.
aren't being used as much.
Yep.
And they're leaving the ones that can actually be sustainably managed there.
Gotcha.
So just in the dive, and this has been sent to us a few times, but it's just, I think there's a lot of information out there that isn't correct. A lot of things are just like 4-wheel drives are being banned from the whole Yorke Peninsula.
Yeah.
And that's just,
And that's what you take it as.
yeah, that's what you take it as. Yeah. So I don't think that's the case. At least as far as look, maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I've seen, that's not the case. 4-wheel drives aren't being banned from the entire Yorke Peninsula.
Yep.
It's certain areas are being closed to just try and keep it sustainable and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? That's a fair enough like ask? I would have thought.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
As long as you, if they're closing a lot of the kind of popular places to go to in Yorke, obviously Yorke's become quite popular since COVID. You know, people are exploring their backyard. They're doing
Yep.
more
it's
forward
close, it's quite close
driving.
to Adelaide. It's
close.
not a whole. It's kind of that first arm.
Yeah,
Off,
and it's
off
a gorgeous place. Like the Yorke Peninsula is unreal, but yeah, as if they're doing it for environmental reasons, I completely understand that. Like people can sometimes go a bit too far when they're forward driving. You know, really damage the places that we want to look after, so that more people can enjoy it. And we've discussed this quite a lot, and this year alone, just sustainable practices when it comes to forward driving and that kind of stuff. So, look, from what I can see, if they're just closing the tracks that aren't really needed, you don't need to use those tracks, and it's just kind of people doing a lot of bad practices.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. I don't like the idea of closing it completely so that no 4-wheel drives can access it. And if you're going there camping and you're going to explore and that kind of stuff, that you're not, you just don't have that chance to explore and do that kind of stuff, because that is the best thing about 4-wheel driving, is exploring your backyard and getting to places that normal people can't go.
Yeah,
but
it's an interesting one, because you're gonna potentially, so the tracks you keep open, everyone's heading down that track. Maybe that leads to 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah.
Then you're quite populated in those 1 or 2 spots without those offshoot tracks.
Yep.
But then with the offshoot tracks, you obviously, you're not taking a sustained approach to
exactly.
the environment and the sustainability long term of those dune systems. The other thing I worry about with this, and I think this is completely fair.
Yeah,
a lot of people probably like stuff it. Who cares? But anyway, I think it's fair. The other thing is you don't want to have 1 or 2 tracks or 3 tracks, main tracks going through the place, and then people just feel like, I don't want to go down to this real busy spot. I'm just going to punch through the bush here and forge my own track.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're creating,
you're creating more damage.
More damage
exactly.
in that way too, which may not happen, and hopefully it doesn't. But there's always a give and take. Like,
there is. I know, and like people there's probably going to be people that are going to be a bit upset with what we've said. Like, seeing how we can understand how that's happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the way that I've understood that they're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
If they're working with 4-wheel-drive clubs, local councils can, I don't know, they don't always know exactly what's going on. You take the city of Casey, for example. But if they're working with 4-wheel-drive clubs, and 4-wheel-drive clubs, hopefully they can take the right approach to closing tracks and doing all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to see the Yorke Peninsula just be a legal entry zone where you can't take a 4-wheel drive. You can't take your hovercraft that you've saved up a lot of money to buy down there, and you can't do this stuff. It's there's a fine line, isn't there, between closing areas to people that are doing the right thing and doing all that, and then leaving areas open.
Probably the flavour of the last few on the radars, really.
Really has been, hasn't it?
Just try to do the right thing where you can, I suppose.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's a lot of common sense out there in these parts that we actually can. You almost don't need the rule to be there or be told to do it.
Yeah.
You just make that decision
you just
yourself.
Know.
But anyway, I think it's fair enough if that is Tony Fox's idea of being able to create a more sustainable ecosystem in those dunes, which are, let's be honest, it's probably at risk for a lot of different reasons, not just four-wheel driving. Like, there's...
No.
I don't know. The world's probably a different... I don't know anything about this stuff.
Here we go.
But there's a lot of stuff around it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of ideas and ways to improve what we're actually doing just in any part of our lives, really, with how much we're damaging the earth and stuff like that. I don't know about it. I don't want to go there.
Nah, we won't go there.
But forward driving's our little part, maybe we can help with.
Yeah. Well, yeah, hopefully we can...
Jeez, I really didn't want to go there then.
No.
Almost jumped in.
Yeah, you really...
I don't know anything about it, so I can't. But imagine
You're right.
diving
Look,
into that.
I think the main thing is they're not banning all four-wheel driving and all that kind of stuff in the Yorke Peninsula. If they're, I'd be really interested to see what specific tracks they want to close and what specific tracks they want to leave open. Like, that would be something that I'd be really interested in seeing. Like, especially the specific areas, just where they're going to be doing it.
I've actually, you know what? I've flown over here one day. We were leaving Adelaide after a game. Flew over because I knew, because I love my maps. I said that last week.
There's a few people that agree with you, mate.
Yeah,
quite a few people. Yeah, it's a thing.
I wonder if there's a word for it.
Yeah, mapaholic.
Yeah,
map enthusiast.
But anyway, flying over here and because I've sort of done a little bit of research, I know that that's the Yorke Peninsula when we fly over, and honestly, looked incredible. And when we flew over, it would have been it was winter time, so you could actually see a few campfires. What's that? Carterfile.
Yep.
There's actually a word for it.
Yep. Collector and lover.
I don't really
of
like
maps.
that.
Yeah, well, because
I'm a Carterfile.
Yeah, you're a Carterfile.
No thanks.
What? Too bad. That's what you are.
I hate maps now.
As a map hater. That's actually a worse word.
No, Carterfile. I don't like it. But anyway, Yorke Peninsula looked good. Campfires on the beach. Like I saw. I obviously didn't. I was in the air.
Yeah,
I couldn't really make
you
out
went
a whole
down
lot,
there.
I could see the fire. And I
thought,
well,
it's cool because planes are actually still allowed over there, so that's fine.
Jeez,
it's just your hovercraft.
Sarcastic much, mate. Excuse you.
Sorry,
well, I reckon we need to up the energy on the radars.
Yeah, I know it's pretty down, isn't it?
We've gone a little bit like, hey, everyone.
Yeah. Look at what's happening.
We're watching you.
Yeah, but you don't want forward driving to disappear.
True.
If you don't talk about it.
That's a good point.
And people, the people that are pushing these things that are killing forward driving, like if you don't talk about it, it just keeps going.
It's a good point.
It just keeps happening.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Tony from GMA pushed one of those. It's so hot, I'm losing it. The petition to keep some tracks open over New South Wales.
Yep.
It's just, you got to talk about it. You got to really make sure that everyone's aware about what's going on, because not everyone knows.
Yeah.
And hopefully this Yorke Peninsula thing, hopefully what we're thinking is correct, because you just don't want to see that closed.
Fair enough.
You want to see it remain open, taken care of, just 4-wheel drive sustainably. Keep it open.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind that.
Yeah.